Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Now, some people don't really know how to use these devices, so today we are going to be covering the RNG device and how it works. Now, today's tutorial was actually going to be covering the new player reference and how to kind of work with it, but because I don't have two extra players with me right now, or my two alts haven't got the game updated on Switch and mobile, I can't showcase that device just yet. So we're going to be doing the RNG device today. Now, some people don't know how to use this thing, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's just set up a quick wooden platform, just so it's a little easier and there's no grass in our way. So this thing is the size of exactly a tile, right? If I were to put this into Grid Snap 2, this thing is going to place exactly over a tile. We're not going to be doing that though. We're just going to place it slightly above the tile, like that. Alright. So these devices, they roll a random number between value limit 1 and value limit 2. So if value limit 2 is 1 and or is between 1 and 6, then that's going to roll like a dice. If I would have rolled this down to 2 though, this is going to function like a coin flip. It's going to go one way or the other. So if my winning value was set to 2 with a value limit of 2 and 1. So if the winning value is 2, and we go into our advanced settings, on win, transmit on, and on lose, transmit on. On win would be 2, and on lose would be 1, and that is how you create a 50-50 scenario. But what if I wanted to create multiple game modes and multiple scenarios of what can happen? So let's get our value limit back up to, let's say, 4 or something. And the winning value is 4. Our roll time we're going to increase to 5 seconds, just so you guys can see it happening a little more. Zone is going to go forward. So if I were to pick this up and place it back down, just to quickly update the border state, as you can see, each tile, let me just put another wood tile down here just so it's a little easier to see, there's a white line in between these gaps. Now that is a border, right? So if I were to jump on this, as you can see, it randomizes between these different box slots. For example, it just chose slot 2. And if I were to say, I don't know, let's increase the value limit to say 14. And I pick this up and put it back down. The dividers shrink again, and we've got 14 different slots. Of course, you can expand the range of this as well. By increasing the length. I've got now 7 lengths. These things are a little wider. That's 7 tiles long. So let's quickly revert it back to our settings that we had before, just so we can go back to our little showcase. And now we need to pick this up again so we can refresh the border. There we go. So these can trigger channels, right? When I jump on this, it picks a random slot that appears in this, well, range, I guess. It just picks slot 2. So if we were gonna have 4 possibilities, let's say, to demonstrate this, why don't we get some item spawners, wherever that device is. I think it's near the top. There we go. So if I were to get an item spawner real quick, we're just gonna literally just set the settings on this. So items respawn, random spawns is just random, I guess. Or, yeah, just off. Visible during games is on. Everything doesn't matter. We're just going to make sure we have time for first spawn is never, and time between spawns is also never. And then everything else should be fine. As long as continuously spawn items is on, it's going to be good. So let's just set this thing to spawn item on channel 1. And we're just going to drop a random item in here. Let's say a flashlight. Then in this one, instead of having a flashlight, oops, I just reset all the settings. That's not what I wanted to do. Mostly because this thing doesn't have an item in it. That's why the setting's not there. Oh, okay, I'm just dumb. Alright, let's put a double barrel on this one. I'm just doing this to demonstrate how this device works, right? So there's no item in here. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab a pumpkin launcher. And then last but not least, let's get a consumable. I don't know, a chuck jug. That'll work. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we need to change the channel settings on all of these real quick, just for our demonstration. So that's going to be channel 2. There's going to be 3. And the chug jug is going to be 4. Now, what I'm going to do is I need to get a trigger device. So, triggers, you need to make sure these things are activated by sequences. So, as long as this trigger, if it's activated by sequences, will be activated if this zone is selected. So, if I were to jump on this and it's selected zone 1 in my RNG slot, it's selected slot 2 again. But if it was to select slot 1, then if this triggers in slot 1, it will activate as long as it's triggered by sequences, so make sure that is turned on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger, when trigger, we're going to go on channel 1. Then we're going to do channel 2 while we're in this border. In the next divider / border, we're going to do channel 3. And then channel 4 over here. Now, if I were to start game, let's fly down. You can also manage these things with buttons and stuff. Like if you get a button device and you go and you set it to activate a RNG device, it'll start rolling anyway. So now I jump on this. It's going to pick between one of these random triggers. Slot 3 was chosen, so it spawned a pumpkin launcher. Let's randomize it again, see what we get. It spawned another pumpkin launcher. Alright, that was it. It's rolled 3 twice in a row. What's it going to roll this time? It rolled channel 2, therefore we got a double barrel. Let's roll it again. We got another double barrel, interesting. Another pumpkin launcher. I'm going to keep rolling till I get at least one of everything, just to show how random it really can be. There we go, we got one chug chug. And now let's roll one more time, or until we get slot 1 chosen. There we go. So you can show that this is random, right? And that is how these devices work. You may see these used for other things. For example, game mode selection. In the Tumble Lads game, if I go back to the hub right now and show you by loading up a matchmaking portal or just a portal in general, if we load up Tumble Lads Winter, which should be at one of my most recent islands, I hope. Tumble Lads Winter is right here. So if we were to load up Tumble Lads Winter, just to show you an example, right? Shout out to 3D Lab, by the way. This is definitely not my own map. I definitely did not work on this. So, shout out to Tiny, Axel, and Bert. You guys did an amazing job on Tumble Lads. Same with you, Esme. Even though you're not part of 3D Lab, I know you worked hard with 3D Lab. So once we load up this map, something that I can show you is for game mode selection. You'll see that these things are often used for selection screens. Now, if you guys remember these in, say, these Tumble Lads games, right? When I start the game, you'll see that these blue boxes switch between the different game modes. These are also RNG devices. They flick between these different modes in this HUD right here, and they choose different game modes. And these just activate a single trigger that moves forward to activate the other game modes. That is exactly how these devices are used for game mode selection. So if we go back to the hub now, I can go back into my island just so that, I didn't have to take the time building one if I've already got one right next to me. Anyway, so for example, say this third trigger right here, or let's say one of these triggers, I don't know, say channel 4, were to start putting particles into the map and teleporting you as well. So let's say, let's find the particles real quick. Let's get some fireworks, just because, you know, they're noisy, they're annoying, and it's becoming New Year kind of soon. So let's just put a firework over here, but we're going to disable the particle. What we're going to do is it's going to be disabled, and we're going to enable it on channel 4. There is no fireworks anymore. But while we're also over here, we're going to get a teleporter device. Wherever those things are. Where is the teleporter? Alright. So, something that game mode selection works by teleporting players into different maps and things like Tumble ads, right? So with a teleporter, you're going to want to change it so teleport to and receiving from. I'm going to do channel 4 because that's going to be my selected channel. Now, whenever channel 4 is chosen in my RNG device, then I'm going to teleport over to the fireworks, which are also going to enable at the same time. And for example, that's just a really quick example of setups that you can do. Voila. Alright, so that is basically how game mode selection works, right? There is obviously more to it. For example, the only reason I teleported is because I'm the one who physically activated the RNG device. If the RNG device was activated on its own, then I wouldn't naturally teleport. I would have to set up some other mechanics to get me to teleport. But, you know, that's only because I physically activated the device. You'll obviously have to set up some more complicated mechanics, but that is roughly how RNG devices work. So I hope that helps you know and learn how to use these things. And I expect to see some of these in your creations from now on. These things are extremely useful for a lot of things. So I really hope you guys use these in your creations. I'm excited to see what you will create using them. Thank you for watching. Shout out to 3D Lab once again. They didn't let me use Tumble ads in this video. I just kind of improvised with that part. But you know, it's a good map. I recommend you guys go play it. I'll put the code to that map in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!